Welcome, my dear learners, for this course on operations research. In our previous lecture, I have given a very brief introduction to operations research, and also I have discussed and formulated a problem on formulation of linear programming problem. In today's class, let us continue our discussion on formulation of linear programming problems. The problem 2 on formulation of linear programming problems states that a person requires 10, 12 and 12 units of chemicals A, B and C respectively. A liquid product contains 5, 2 and 1 units of A, B and C respectively per jar. A dry product contains 1, 2, 4 units of A, B and C per carton. If the liquid product sells for rupees 300 per jar and dry product sells for rupees 200 per carton, how many of each should he purchase to minimize the cost and meet the requirements? Here, if you clearly observe, a person wants chemicals of type A, B and C, but he is not directly purchasing these chemicals A, B and C. He is purchasing liquid products and dry products which contains these chemicals. Since he is purchasing, we should minimize the purchase cost, thereby you should get more number of or more quantity of chemicals. So our objective is to minimize the purchase here. So now in the objective function, if you observe, he is not purchasing chemicals, very important, he is purchasing liquid products and dry products. So therefore the objective is to purchase the liquid products and dry products which contains the chemicals A, B and C. And these dry products and liquid products have the constraints for the chemical A, chemical B and chemical C. The minimum requirement for this person is he wants 10, 12 and 12 units of chemicals A, B and C respectively. So this is the minimum requirement he have. So he should get the minimum of 10 units of A chemical, 12 units of B chemical and 12 units of C chemicals by purchasing dry products and liquid products. As I said, for the formulation of linear programming problems, the very three basic points to be remembered are objective function, constraints and all the variables should be positive. Now coming for the objective function, here he is not selling the product, he is purchasing the product. So therefore our objective is to minimize the purchase and maximize the gain. So if he purchases this liquid and dry products, the gain for him is the chemicals involved in it. So therefore, coming for the first point in the objective function, in the linear programming problem is the objective function. So if I solve for problem number 2, here the products are not the chemicals, the products are liquid and dry product. So therefore let us take the liquid product as 1 and dry product as 2. Since we want to formulate this problem, let us denote it as x1 and x2. x1 corresponds to liquid product and x2 corresponds to dry product. Now our objective is that how much x1 product he should purchase and how much x2 product he should purchase, thereby he will get these amounts of chemicals A, B and C. The solution will be obtained either by graphical or analytical method that we will be discussing later in this course, but as of now we should formulate the problem. In the sense, we should write the mathematical model for this defined problem. We are in stage 2. The phases of OR are defining the problem. He has defined the problem. Now we are constructing the model. We should construct the model. Now the constraints involved in these liquids and dry product purchase is that the chemicals. So now the constraints are chemicals. So how many chemicals are there? There are 3 chemicals, namely chemical A, chemical B and chemical C. Now coming for the liquid products contains 5 units of chemical A, 2 units of chemical B and 1 unit of chemical C. Whereas the dry products contains 1 unit of chemical A, 2 unit of chemical B and 4 unit of chemical C. And he requires, coming for chemical A, he requires 10 units of chemical A, 12 units of chemical B and 12 units of chemical C. So this is the minimum requirement of So this is the chemical composition of these products, or these products contains these chemicals. Now our objective function is to minimize the purchase. So therefore the objective function will become minimize Z is equal to Z is a notation for objective function. Now what he is purchasing, he is not purchasing the chemicals, he is purchasing the liquid product and dry product. So he is purchasing product X1 and product X2. The cost price of these products are, liquid product is 300 and dry product is 200. So now from these products he is getting the chemicals of category A, B and C. So now the constraints are, that is subjected to the constraints. Coming for the constraint for chemical A, we have only 5 units of X1 in it and 1 unit of X2 in it, but minimum requirement is 10 units. So this must be greater than or equal to 10 units. Chemical A minimum requirement is 10 units. If you purchase X1 product, you will get 5 units per one product. If you purchase X2 product, you will get 1 unit of chemical A in it. So since it is a minimum requirement for him, he should purchase such a way that these two combination will give him 10 or more quantity of or units of chemical A. Similarly, if I write for chemical B, you will get 2 units of chemical B from product X1 and 2 units of chemical B from product X2, and this should give him greater than or equal to 12 units because this is a minimum requirement. Next, coming for chemical C, chemicals product X1 contains 1 unit of chemical C and product 2 contains 4 unit of chemical C. Minimum requirement for him is 12. So this completes the constraints. Why I am using greater than or equal to? Because the RHS is the minimum constraint. LHS should exceed the requirement. And finally, the positive constraint is that the variables must be positive, that is X1 and X2 should be greater than or equal to 0. So this is the solution for the problem number 2. So this is our objective function, this is the constraint, and this is the condition that the variables are positive. So this is the solution for problem number 2. Let us move on to problem number 3. The manager of an oil company must decide on the optimal mix of 2 possible blending process of which the inputs and outputs per production run are given in the table. the maximum amounts available of crude A and B are 200 units and 150 units respectively. Market requirements show that at least 100 units of gasoline X and 80 units of gasoline Y must be produced. The profit per production run from process 1 and process 2 are 30,000 rupees and 40,000 rupees respectively. Write the mathematical formulation of the problem. Let us solve this problem. Now, if I solve problem number 3, solution for problem number 3. As I said, for mathematical formulation of linear programming problems, the 3 important points are objective function, constraint, and the variable should be positive. Coming for the objective function, it is either maximize the profit or minimize the loss. Now, if I observe problem number 3, he is neither purchasing crude oil or nor selling the crude oil. He is neither purchasing the gasoline or selling the gasoline. But he is making the profit from process 1 and 2. So he is clearly stating that the profit per production run from process 1 and process 2. So he is making the profit by the production run. He is not making the profit either by crude oil or by gasoline. He is making the profit by process run of process 1 and process 2. So therefore, the objective function will have the process 1 and 2. So objective function is based on process 1 and process 2 because he is making profit based on process. Let us treat process 1 as x1 and process 2 as x2. Now he will make the profit subjected he uses the crude oil in the limited quantity and he produces the gasoline as much as possible. Now he is using the crude oil A and B and he is producing the gasoline X and Y. Now to make the profit from process 1 and process 2, he is using crude oils A and B and he is producing gasoline X and Y. So therefore the constraints are crude oil usage and production of gasoline X and Y. So constraints for this problem are crude oil A and B and gasoline X and Y. So therefore these processes are depending on the crude A and crude B and gasoline X and gasoline Y. Coming for process 1, the crude A requirement is tabulated, that is 5, and process 2 requires an input of crude 4. Crude A as 4, but the availability of crude A is 200 units. The availability is 200 units. In these 200 units, he should distribute between process 1 and process 2. Whereas process 1 requires 5 units of crude A and process 2 requires 4 units of crude B. He has only 200 units of crude A with him. Whereas coming for crude B, process 1 requires 3 units of crude B and process 2 requires 5 units of crude B, but he has only 150 units of crude B with him. The limitation is 150. So this is the maximum availability. So he has only 200 units of crude A and 150 units of crude B. Coming for the gasoline constraints, process 1 requires 5 units of gasoline, producing 5 units of gasoline, and process 2 is producing 4 units of gasoline of type X. So in order to make profit, minimum it should produce 100 units of gasoline X at least in the sense minimum it should produce 100 units. It should produce 100 or more than 100, then only it will be in profit, otherwise it will be in loss. So minimum production should be 100 units of gasoline X, whereas the output of gasoline Y are 8 units from X1 and 4 units from X2. If it should be in profit, it should produce minimum of 80 units of gasoline Y. 80. More than that, it should produce. Then only it will be in profit. So now we have segregated between the variable fitting to the objective function and the constraints or the variables fitting to the constraints. So now since is in profit, I should maximize the profit, so therefore the objective function will be maximize Z is equal to, is making the profit from process 1 and process 2, so therefore you should make profit from process 1 and process 2. Each production from process 1 is giving him a rupees of 30,000 and process B is fetching him a profit of 40,000 rupees. So this objective function is depending on the constraint that is subjected to the constraints are coming for the crude A constraint, 5 units of X1 plus 4 units of X2. The maximum availability is 200 units, so therefore we should use less than 200 units. Since availability itself is 200, you cannot use more than that. Therefore, it is less than or equal to 200. Coming for crude B, 3 unit is the requirement for X1 process, 5 unit is the requirement for X2 process. The availability is 150, so therefore you should use less than 150 or equal to 150. Now, we will make the profit provided he produces 100 or more gasoline X, 80 or more gasoline Y. Now coming for process 1, he is producing 5 units of gasoline X from process 1 and 4 units of gasoline X from process 2. Minimum he should produce 100 and more than that he should produce, so therefore if he should be in profit, he should produce 100 or more gasoline X units. Coming for gasoline Y, 8 units of gasoline Y is produced from process 1 and 4 units of gasoline Y is produced from process 2. If he should be in profit, he should produce 80 or more gasoline Y. So these are the constraints for this problem. Objective function done, constraints done, and the third requirement is the variables should be positive. So therefore here the variables are process 1 and process 2. So therefore X1 and X2 are positive. So this is the solution for the given problem number 3. Let us quickly solve one more problem in this lecture. Problem number 4 states that a used car dealer wishes to stock up his lot to maximize the profit. He can select cars A, B and C which are valued wholesale at rupees 5,000, 7,000 and 8,000 respectively. These can be sold at rupees 6,000, 8,500 and 10,500 respectively. For each car type, the probabilities of sales are: type A cars is reselling at a probability of 70% within 90 days. Type B cars is reselling with a probability of 80% in 90 days. And C is reselling at a 60% probability in 90 days. For every 2 cars of B, he should buy 1 car of type A or type C. If he has rupees 1 lakh to invest, what should he buy to maximize his expected gain? We have a used car dealer. He is purchasing the cars to fill his stock up his lot, and he want to resell it within 90 days. Now, you will get the profit if the selling price is more than the cost price. So our objective function is to maximize the profit or minimize the loss. Here he has not given the direct profit for us, so therefore, since he is maximizing the profit, I should determine what is the profit equation for the given problem. Now let us solve this problem. Let car A be denoted by x1, car B is denoted by x2, and car C is denoted by x3. Now he has given the cost price of it, and we know the selling price of it. The cost price of car A is 5,000 rupees. The cost price of car B is 7,000, and the cost price of car C is 8,000. Coming for selling price, he can sold car A at a price of 6,000 rupees, car B at a price of 8,500 rupees, and car C at a price of 10,500 rupees. So therefore, what is the profit? So we know that profit is equal to selling price minus cost price. So therefore, the profit will be 6,000 minus 5,000 is 1,000, 8,500 minus 7,000 is 1,500, and 10,500 minus 8,000 is 2,500. But all the cars what he purchased will not be sold. The probability of selling the cars is 70% for A, 80% for B, and 60% for C. Now the actual profit equation, from this the profit equation is ₹1,000 on each car of A plus ₹1,500 on each car of B plus ₹2,500 on each car of C. But all the cars A, all the cars B, and all the cars C are not sold. The probability of selling these cars are 70% of X1, 80% of X2, and 60% of X3. So therefore, the actual profit equation including probability is based on probability. The profit equation final will become 1000 of only 70% of X1 is sold plus 1500 times only 80% of X2 is sold plus 2500 only 60% of x3 is stored. So therefore, if I do calculation, I get 700 x1 plus 15 8s are 120. So therefore, it is 1200 x2 plus 25 to 6. 25 into 5 is 125. 125 plus 125 is 150. So we will get 1500 x3. So this is the actual profit equation. So now we got the objective function. Now I should maximize this objective function provided the constraints are the selection of cars. You can't buy car A more, car B less or car C more like that. He should buy for every car of type A, he must buy 2 types of car B or car C. Sorry, for every 2 types of car B, he should buy 1 car of type A or 1 car of car C. But he has only 1 lakh rupees to invest. So therefore, the constraints are type of car. So with this knowledge, I can write the mathematical model. Now for LPP formulation, the 3 important things are objective function, constraint and the variables must be positive. Coming for the objective function, maximize, you know the objective function, z is equal to 700 x1 plus 1200 x2 plus 1500 x3. Now coming for the second one, constraint. So it is subjected to the constraint of for every car A, that is for x1, you should buy 2 car of B, or car B is denoted by x2, or for every car of car C, that is x3, he will buy 2 car of car B. So if he selects 2 cars of car B, he should buy 1 car of car A. Or else, if he buys 2 car of car B, he should buy 1 car of car C. So for every 2 cars of B, he should buy 1 car of A or C. So now we know the cost price of these cars. So car A is costing him 5,000 rupees and car B is costing him 7,000 rupees. Coming for car C, it is 8,000 rupees, whereas car B is 7,000 rupees. But to buy any one among these two, he has only 1 lakh rupees with him. So, if I simplify, since he has only 1 lakh, within that only he should buy cars. So therefore 1 lakh is the maximum value he can take. So therefore less than that only he should purchase. So now if I simplify, it will become 14,000 and here also 14,000. That is so 7 2s are 14,000 x2. Now since x2 and x3 should be interchanged because x2 will come first in the order, so it will become 14,000 x2 plus 8,000 x3. Just I have interchanged the position, that's it. I have not done anything. Previously I have written 8,000 x3 plus 7,000 into 2 x2. I have multiplied and I have interchanged because to maintain the sequence x1, x2, x3, that's it. So this is the constraint. And finally the third very important one is x3. So this is x2, x1. Car A, car B, car C, car B. 5,000, 14,000, 14,000, 8,000. So now the third important thing is that all the variables must be positive. So therefore here the variables are car A, car B and car C are all positive. So this is the solution for the given problem. That's all from this lecture. Thank you.